morning. Good morning. Happy week 18, everyone. Last regular season stream of the season. I can't believe it's over. That's actually crazy. Feels like it just started. We're here, obviously, to talk week 18. We'll run through the DFS slate. I think it's a really good week for anytime touchdown, parlay, round robin, whatever you guys want to do, just because there's a lot of uncertainty. And even though the books can kind of factor that in, there's still unknowns and things that, we can take advantage of. So good day for anytime touchdown plays. CJ, good morning. But we'll run through the DFS slate, and then I have DraftKings pulled up just because it appears that DraftKings has more touchdown odds than FanDuel. So FanDuel is just really taking advantage of the fact that there's legal sports betting and they can do whatever they want. They don't even post lines for half the stuff. Sandy, good morning. Hope you're doing well, Sandy. I got some touchdown hitters today, Sandy, that we can go through here. But yeah, FanDuel is just so annoying, man. Like DraftKings limits anyone with any sort of a pulse, and then FanDuel just doesn't even put half the lines up. It's so unfortunate. Jim, good morning. But yeah, so let's dive in. So we'll talk DFS and then we'll talk touchdown plays. Good. I'm gonna do some round robins for touchdowns today. I'm gonna do some parlays, just because of it being week 18. And if you're in the chat, let me know who you like to score a touchdown today. Someone start firing. There's some people in here. Start firing in some touchdown plays. We'll talk about those as well. All right, let's get in here. All right, first up, at quarterback, if you're playing cash today, Josh Dobbs is going to be far and away the highest owned guy. He's the only person that I'm seeing. Jimmy, like Gibbs for a touchdown. Yeah, he's minus 340 though. I mean, like if I scroll down to that game, I mean, oh my God, it's so far down here. Minus 340 is, you're going to have to parlay that with something. Addison, Mitchell, been out plowing last 3 days. Oh my God. Yeah. Mitchell, you're up north. So yeah, there's been some crazy snow up there. I didn't really get that much down here, but yeah, I feel for you there. If you're playing cash today, Josh Dobbs is going to be the highest owned quarterback. I also like Baker Mayfield. Once again, obviously, we know Tampa needs to win. Pretty clean stack. You can use him. If I was playing Baker, I would go Bucky and Mike Evans with him. And then, if you want to grab someone on the other side from the Saints, you can. You don't have to, though. Kyler next up, and then Joe Flacco. That's the four guys that are really catching ownership when it comes to quarterbacks and stacks. I think Justin Herbert is an interesting angle for tournaments just because people are kind of unknown whether or not they're going to play the full game or play all out. I do think there's a greater than 50% chance that the Chargers, play this game kind of all out. So I think Justin Herbert at what should be pretty low ownership against the Raiders, looking pretty good to me. And then you have Jaden Daniels there as well. I mean, we know the kind of ceiling he's provided this season, and it's a really good matchup against Dallas. So that's kind of the group of quarterbacks for me: Dobbs, Mayfield, Kyler, Flacco, Herbert, Jaden Daniels. If you wanted to extend it out to, a Penix or, even Mac Jones against Indy, you could. I'm not going to play enough teams probably to do that. And then I'm going to play probably lighter DFS volume today just in general with it being week 18, the smaller field stuff I play, it just really doesn't. There's no advantage to playing lower owned players, and you know that's kind of what you have to do on this slate. Yeah, I like Geno Mitchell, but I just have concerns there that he's not going to play the full game. I don't know. I don't know if it's not like that was reported, but it's just a feeling I have. I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't play the full game. So I don't know if I'd play him over, a Penix or a Flacco, who I know like they're gonna play the full game. At running back, once again, this has been the theme of DFS this season, is just the really, really high owned running backs. That's going to be the case again today. Bucky Irving, Bijan Robinson, both projected for over 35% ownership. And then you have Michael Carter from the Arizona Cardinals. He's projected over 50% ownership. So those three are going to be extremely chalky. And then you have other guys like Will Shipley, Blake Corum. Those guys are catching mid-teens in ownership projection as well. So it's a pretty tight pool at running back in terms of the ownership. And I think all those guys are really good plays. So I probably wouldn't extend much past them for the stuff I play. I would maybe throw Ray Davis in there from Buffalo and maybe Rico Dowdle. But that's probably it. That's probably the only other two I would include. A lot of my teams will just have two or three of those guys I mentioned. Irving, Robinson, Carter, Corum, Shipley. I think Will Shipley is really interesting today. I saw a lot of people, on Twitter kind of touting Kenny Gainwell to score a touchdown. I don't know how much, Kenny Gainwell might not play much. I know that they didn't bring anyone up from the practice squad, so it's just going to be Kenny Gainwell and Will Shipley active for the running backs for the Eagles. But Kenny Gainwell plays for the Eagles on normal games. Like, he will play in the playoff game. So he might get a couple touches and then not anymore. He might not even get any touches unless Will Shipley gets hurt. Like, they could just really feed Will Shipley here. So I like Will Shipley a lot, DFS. I like him a lot anytime touchdown. I wish I would have tweeted it out because he was catching like plus 320 to score a touchdown last night, which I thought was crazy. Now he's like plus one. Let me see what he is now. He's plus 200. So, still good odds, like 2-1 on Will Shipley. I think he's going to be the main back today. I like Will Shipley a lot. 2-1 to score when he's probably going to get a lot of the touches. But he was like plus 320 last night. I wish I would have hit that. Trey, what's up? That's what worries about Davis. Yeah, but they still have James Cook and Ty Johnson who play in the regular season. Like, I don't know. Ray Davis is like, the reason I don't have those concerns, Mitchell, like Ray Davis is a rookie. He hasn't really played much. Like, Kenny Gainwell has been on the Eagles for years and years. I don't know what the advantage is of playing Kenny Gainwell a lot in this game today. But all right, wide receiver. I mean, Brian Thomas Jr. and Mike Evans are both going to be extremely high owned. A lot of like content creators and stuff are talking about the incentives and contract stuff. The only one I care about is Mike Evans. I can just tell you this right now. Like, yes, the books know, about this stuff, but it's just a lot of times these teams just don't care. But if there's any team that does, it's Tampa with this Mike Evans stuff. So that's the only contract incentive stuff that I care about. Now, they juiced his props so much that it doesn't even matter. Not going to take a wide receiver ever at minus 170 to score a touchdown. His, receiving line it's like 100 yards. Like, I'm not going to take that. I don't know if it changed, but on on Friday, you could have got Mike Evans 5 catches and 85 plus yards, like the exact parlay. On Bet365, it was minus 160. I'm sure it's like minus 200 and beyond now. So I really wouldn't mess around with betting any of these props for this incentive stuff. And a lot of them probably, they got so steamed that there's just no value in taking them. But for DFS, Mike Evans is going to be a lock, for me. Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be a lock for me as well. I mean, he's crushed down the stretch. We talked about it on stream on Friday, but Indy's really struggled with these bigger receivers like Nico Collins, Calvin Ridley in the past last year. Like Brian Thomas Jr. fits the mold of the receiver that's really given Indy trouble, and he's been amazing down the stretch. So those two, I think, are going to be, really high owned and really great plays today. And then you have this whole group of kind of mid-tier guys: Drake London, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Jacoby Myers, Cortland Sutton, Juwan Jennings, Michael Pittman. All those guys are fine, showing good value. I know Matt and I talked a little bit, but I know Matt prefers Ricky Pearsall to Juwan Jennings, which I don't hate. It's a $1,700 price difference. Ricky Pearsall looked really good last week, and I think there's a chance that they give him more work today, just with it being, the last game. He was a first-round pick. He missed a lot of time this season after that, getting shot in the offseason. So Ricky Pearsall at 4,100 looks good. Malik Neighbors showing pretty low ownership, around 12%. There's a chance he gets, 8, 9 catches today, with him chasing records. Philly's resting guys on both sides of the ball. The Giants have nothing to play for other than to just give, Malik Neighbors the ball. So I think he's interesting for what I thought would be higher ownership coming into the week. So maybe like a Neighbors Shipley, little mini stack, I think looks pretty good. And then Ladd McConkey, I would throw in there, like I said, if there's any chance that the Chargers play this game all out. 6,900 Ladd McConkey at what should be single-digit ownership is a really good tournament play. There's tons of other guys that, we can make the case for on a slate like this. Looking down at like the cheap players, you could take a chance on one of the Rams guys: Tyler Johnson, Jordan Whittington, Justin Watson from the Chiefs. He played last year or 2 years ago. The last time that the Chiefs rested guys, week 18, Justin Watson played really a fair amount, and he's only 3,500, so you could look at him. Tutu Atwell you could throw in with the Rams guys as well. So maybe one of those guys. The Eagles are super thin today, at both running back and receiver. They basically just have Smith, Johnny Wilson, and Jahan Dotson. Like really just 3 receivers are going to be running for the Eagles today. So you could definitely take a look at one of those guys at what should be pretty low ownership as well. But I'm kind of with Matt. I kind of like this, Ricky Pearsall play a little bit for 4,100. Definitely is interesting. Tight end, Trey McBride, Brock Bowers, and Peyton Hendershot from Kansas City. Those guys are dominating the ownership projections. All of them are projected above 20%. I think Hendershot, if you're playing cash, will be probably the highest owned guy. But, McBride, he's been great all season. Bowers, you kind of know what the story is here. Like he's also, going for records. He already has the rookie reception record. He can stat pad that. Him and Neighbors are kind of going back and forth, for the rookie reception record. So he's firmly in play as well. I could see him getting a lot of looks today. If you wanted a low owned play, you could look at one of these like really cheap guys. Quentin Morris from Buffalo. We've seen him, randomly score a touchdown before. He should play a fair amount. Austin Hooper from New England, 3,300. That's probably, Davis Allen from the Rams. I just mentioned their pass catchers. You could throw him in there. But that's probably it for me at tight end. The Payne Durham experience. Yeah, Matt kept saying that last week when we played him. I don't know. There's other guys I like better. I would play Ferguson. I would play Hooper, Hendershot, Chigakonkwo. I'd probably play all those guys today over the Payne Durham experience. But if you're playing Baker, you could maybe throw him in. The problem with Payne Durham is he caught that touchdown, but they were kind of playing that other guy quite a bit. I can't remember his name. but he was a rookie. He hadn't played much. They were kind of giving him some looks. So that kind of hurts things if Payne Durham's not going to be like the only tight end, running routes. Missed the running back segment. What do you think about JT? Yeah, JT, if you're playing tournaments, I think's fine, Trey. I probably don't play enough teams to get him. I'm going to play pretty tight with those. Culp, yeah, CJ. Yeah, they were feeding that guy. So if Payne Durham's not going to be the only tight end, it's kind of tough to play him even in a Baker stack. But I think JT Trey is a good tournament play for sure. I don't know if I play enough teams to put him in there, but yeah, I think he's fine. No problems with him in tournaments. Here we got a report. Those close to Ben Johnson believe Jacksonville could potentially be a better fit for him than Chicago. I mean, that's not really shocking. Chicago's kind of a dumpster fire. Keaton, you like Rome Odunze for anytime touchdown? Trey, I think people will play Jennings more than Pearsall, which is why Matt and I kind of like Pearsall if he's going to be lower owned. I think he's a much better play. I think he's a better football player on the field. Like I said, first round pick. He missed a lot of time this year after that offseason stuff, getting shot. So it wouldn't shock me if they just, really kind of emphasized getting him some looks here in the last game of the season, something to build off of, going into the offseason for him. All right, that about does it for DFS stuff. I'm probably going to play 2 or 3 DraftKings teams today. Probably play a Baker, probably play a Josh Dobbs, and maybe a Herbert. That might be my 3. Or Jane Daniels. One of those few. I guess Flacco maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll play 4 teams. I don't know. But that's kind of I'm definitely playing a Dobbs. I'm definitely playing a Baker. And I do want to play Herbert at low ownership, play into that. So definitely going to play those 3, and then I might add maybe one more. But yeah. All right, for touchdowns, like I said, it's a really good week, I think, for parlays, round robins, anytime touchdowns. I'll go through some of the ones I like the most. First and foremost, from the Buffalo Bills, Ray Davis. Really good matchup, obviously, against New England. Don't know how long Josh Allen's going to play, probably like a series or 2. Doesn't really matter. Ray Davis should play a fair amount here, considering he is a rookie. And it's a good matchup. And he's proven he can score touchdowns, at the NFL level already this season. So Ray Davis, I like at plus 145. I don't hate Brian Robinson at plus 115. He feels kind of due for a touchdown, in my opinion. Like, they've got really crazy in the red zone the last few weeks. Like, he feels due for one, but he would be lower down my list, but on my list, Brian Robinson. Ray Davis firmly on the list, though. Obviously, I like the Falcons guys, but I'm not laying 310 on a touchdown, so we can just move on that. Favorite touchdown overall today, and you can see this already came down from 200. Will Shipley is my favorite touchdown pick today, far and away. Think there's a chance he plays the whole game. Good matchup. Even with backups in, Philly should be able to move the ball on New York, and Will Shipley is like a good football player. He can catch passes. So Will Shipley, I love at plus 185 there. If you want to take a shot on him first touchdown, I think you could do that as well. Brian Thomas Jr., I like just with what he's been doing in the matchup against Indy. So he's on my list. This game is a little interesting. Chiefs-Broncos. Carson Steele, I could see scoring a red zone touchdown if the Chiefs can get into the red zone consistently. He's just a bigger body guy that, they were even giving him some red zone looks before they signed Kareem Hunt in regular games earlier this season. So Carson Steele plus 255 is on my list. And then DeAndre Hopkins, I know it's Carson Wentz, and I know I said I don't really care about incentive stuff. I do think DeAndre Hopkins has a small incentive if he catches one touchdown pass. So you could maybe look at him at 3-1 as well. Would you pivot off Carter to get Shipley? If it's tournaments, I would consider it, Trey. If it's cash, I would not. Whittington, Strange versus Pearsall, Henderson. I'd take the second one there, CJ, for cash. So I think there's some value on these couple Chiefs guys there. I don't care about this Dolphins-Jets game, so I'm just going to skip that. If there's a chance that these Chargers guys play, McConkey at plus 120 is interesting. Hassan Haskins, for whatever reason, Harbaugh likes to give him some red zone carries. Maybe you could look at him. Blake Corum is definitely on my list. He is searching for his first NFL touchdown. The Rams have backups playing, but their backups are better than most teams. Like Jimmy Garoppolo at least is like a serviceable NFL quarterback. Their team total is not great, but yeah, if the Rams get in the red zone, I could see Blake Corum finally getting in the end zone. And Seattle's kind of been like a run funnel for some points this season. It's been easier to run on them than pass. So Blake Corum would be on my list for sure. Michael Carter at plus 135 is like my second favorite behind Shipley. Those are my two favorites for sure. Carter and Shipley. And then Pearsall is plus 310. I think he is interesting as well. And then for the night game, this is the best game overall just because there's playoff implications. It's a high total, 56.5 points. I like TJ Hawkinson, revenge game touchdown. Detroit has just been so bad defensively against the pass recently. They still have a really good serviceable run defense, but teams have been throwing all over them. I mean, Caleb Williams lit them up. Brock Purdy lit them up. TJ Hawkinson at plus 175 when we know he probably can get some red zone looks there. Really, really good pick, I think. Any early or late lineups today? Yeah, I'll probably do an early lineup. Not sure about late. I'll decide after the stream and post it, but I'll probably do an early lineup for sure. Lunding, Jennings, or Evans, Pearsall for cash. Man, that's tough. I would actually lean the second one, I think. I would take Evans, Pearsall personally. It would be tough for me to play cash and not have Mike Evans today. And I like Pearsall more than Jennings anyway, so I prefer that combo. Trey Lance is starting today. That's not really shocking, I guess. Kind of affects the Cowboys offense as a whole, though. I don't know. I just really don't trust him much. Not that Cooper Rush is super good, but at least we know they can move the ball. All right, I'm not going to stay on here long today. So if you guys have any last minute questions, drop them in. And then I'm going to go work on my lineups. We can build a touchdown parlay, though. So I'm going to put in, let's see here. We're going to put Ray Davis in. We're going to put in Shipley. So there's two. You could put Brian Thomas Jr. in here. I'll think about it. Could put one of those Chiefs guys in. I'll think about that. I definitely want Michael Carter in, though. Like that. Okay, so Ray Davis, Will Shipley, Michael Carter. That's 15-1. And then we'll do Hawkinson to get it to 44-1. All right, should we do Brian Thomas Jr. too? Or should we do Blake Corum? Let's do Corum. So we got two early guys, two afternoon guys, and a nighttime. Sunday Night Football. 5 picks, touchdowns, 100-1. Pretty good odds here. Ray Davis, Will Shipley, Michael Carter, TJ Hawkinson, Blake Corum. 2 1 p.m., 2 4 p.m., 1 Sunday Night Football. Hopefully we just get it to Sunday night and we get a sweat with Hawkinson. I'm sure there's sites that have like profit boosts out there. So if you have one of those touchdown profit boost, you could put it in there. Steve, thanks for tuning in here. Dobbins, Garendo, Charbonnet. Yeah, Derrick Henry did work yesterday. I would say Dobbins, Garendo, or Charbonnet. Steve, are you just picking one of those three guys? Is that what you're asking? CJ, I would take the first one, Brian Thomas and Pearsall over Sutton Pittman. I would take that first one for cash games. Steve, if you're just picking one of those, I would pick Zach Charbonnet. Yep, one rep. Okay, yeah, I would go Charbonnet if I was just picking one of them. Thanks, Ben. Horns down. Yeah, go Buckeyes. I feel pretty confident, CJ. I mean, we hit the big bet on them over Oregon. I think they should be able to handle Texas personally. If it's a close game, you never know with Ryan Day. He still could do something stupid. Like, I feel like that's left people's minds with how good they've played, but that's still very much a possibility. But I really don't trust Quinn Ewers in a big game. So I'll take Ohio State in that one. And I think Ohio State will be pretty sizable favorites. Assuming they win in the national championship, I would guess they're 7-8 point favorites over either of the teams on the other side on a neutral field. So, we'll see what happens. Does Notre Dame beat Penn State? It's a great question, Trey. I talked about this a bit on, I can't remember if it was Thursday stream, Friday stream, one of them, but here's I think there's two huge question marks in that Notre Dame Penn State game. One of which is, like, first of all, I don't know if Jeremiah Love is fully healthy, which definitely hurts Notre Dame. And then, it's still like Marcus Freeman has been amazing. I will give Marcus Freeman his flowers. Like, he's done fantastic over the last, basically since they lost in Northern Illinois, he's been great. But there's still very much the chance that he does something stupid in a close big game. But you can say the exact same thing for Penn State. Like, I trust Marcus Freeman more than I trust James Franklin in a big game. And then Drew Aller, who I'm a big fan of, has never really had good stats anytime he's played a good team. And Notre Dame's defense is legitimately one of the best in the country. So, Drew Aller, can he hold up against a good defense is a huge question. Which one of those coaches is not going to make, a dumb decision? I think if I haven't put any bets in for that round. I said on stream, like, I kind of was debating taking that Ohio State Notre Dame exact matchup before the playoffs started. So if I were going to pick one of those teams right now, Trey, I would say Notre Dame beats Penn State, yes. But I hope Jeremiah Love is able to suit up, because that would kind of suck, if he. I don't see how he's 100%. Like, I don't know. All right. Overall, though, thank you guys for tuning in. A lot of people in here today, so shout out to you guys. I'll be live, like, for the playoffs and stuff. If there's games, Saturday and Sunday, we'll just stream Saturday and Sunday. So not the last NFL streams of the year. We still will be live for the playoffs, but I can't believe it's week 18. Tons of content will be coming, though, throughout the playoffs and moving forward. It'll be baseball before we know it. We still have basketball going on, college basketball as well. So lots to come. Good luck today on the last big slate of the season. Good luck in DFS, betting, whatever you guys are doing. Put this anytime touchdown parlay in with us and sweat it out. 102-1. Yeah, Tyler Warren Masterclass could be coming, Trey. That is true. Very true. That should be a great game, honestly. I'm actually really excited for these two semifinal games. I know some of the games have been blowouts, but I think these two semifinal games are going to be really good. But all right, good luck today, guys. I'll have a article out later on Rolling Insights for the Sunday night game because it's the best game of the day and it's obviously prime time. And I usually do those primetime breakdowns. So there will be a blog up for the Sunday night game out this afternoon. But good luck today. And yeah, I'll see everybody tomorrow at 11.